Welcome to SNUathletics.com. I'm John Hale here with you for the second game of our doubleheader here in Bethany with the Cameron Aggies and your Southern Nazarene University Crimson Storm. In the first game, the Cameron Aggies were able to defeat the Crimson Storm by a score of 7-4. Most of those coming in a big 4-run seventh inning. And we are back here for game number 2. Now on the mound for the Crimson Storm is he was just making a great defensive play right there is number 11, David Gustafson. Gustafson is a 6'1", 180-pound junior out of Fairfield, California. His next pitch against Bronson Polgados is a ball. So Victor De Jesus went up first for the Aggies and was grounded out. And it looks like here's ground out number 2. So the first 2 Aggies are dealt with very quickly. Cody Bauer, number 21 for the Aggies, comes up. First pitch. It's right down the middle for strike 1. Only 7 innings in this second game. That one's going straight towards Cameron's own third base coach. He had to lift away and to get out of the fire of that one. And a swing and a miss, and there he goes. It's going to be a pass ball, and he's going to be safe at first. Storm missed out on an opportunity. And the Storm missed out on an opportunity to end the inning. Instead, Cody Knight will trot up to the plate. And he pops this one high towards center. And it's an easy fly out for Mike DeShishalo. And that's how the inning will end. The Crimson Storm will come back into the bottom of the first in the second game here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Josh Flowers is going to lead off the second game. Tries to get the bunt to go, but can't pull it back in time. Strike one. Strike two is delivered. On the mound for the Aggies in this second game is number 27. He's a left-handed pitcher, Oswaldo Godina. Gets a little piece of that one. And Flowers is taken out at first. Just one step too slow. So Flowers will take a seat and bring up Stevens. Stevens had a sacrifice last game. His first pitch against him goes strike. Next pitch goes too low. Stevens gets a little bit of that one, and it's corralled by the first baseman. Able to put his glove up and bring that one in. That was number 16, Anthony Acevedo. So that'll bring up the shortstop, Dylan Phelan. Phelan was 3 for 5 in that last game. First strike is coming in as a first pitch is a strike against Phelan. Gets a bit of that one, and it's a line out to first. And that's going to do it for the first inning, as neither team able to get much going. We'll take a break. When we come back, it'll be the top of the second with Cameron on deck. And when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Anthony Acevedo is at the plate for the Aggies. First pitch delivered by Gustafson is a strike. That one goes into the dirt, ball one. A swing and a miss. Acevedo brings up strike two. And a swing and a miss will send Acevedo back to the dugout for out number 1. With that, we'll bring out number 7, Lino Ramirez. It was 1 for 3 last game. And that one's popped up high. Under for Phelan, and he brings it down. So number 2, Micah Kawakai, out of Hawaii, will step up. First pitch is a strike. And the umpire is going to give it that one to Gustafsson for strike number 2. And that one's just going to go foul as he got just the piece of it with the bottom of his bat. That one goes high for ball 1. That one's a little dribbler to second base. They're able to make the play. Web gym type of play by Dalen Edgar there at second base to Anthony Wiggins. That'll end the inning. Another quick 3 outs for the SNU defense when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Leading off the second inning is number 14, Anthony Wiggins. Tries to get the bunt down right in front of the pitcher. Got him at first. So Anthony Wiggins will take another seat. I'll bring out number 10, Dalen Edgar. Edgar will step up to the plate. One out against the Storm. We're striking the first pitches a ball on the inside corner. That one finds the strike right in the middle. Strike one. Let's go Dina hounding the strike zone. A swing and a miss by Edgar. Count to 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. And a strikeout. Right down the center. Caught him looking. So Dale and Eric will take a seat and bring in number 22, Mike DeShishalo. First one right down the middle for strike one. A swing and a miss for strike two. That one's just on the outside, brings up ball one. And gets a piece of that one, dribbles it right up to the shortstop. He won't be able to make the play. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Cameron defense. And that'll end the second. When we come back to SNUathletics.com, we'll have the third inning. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Coming back to the top of the third now. Another strike delivered by Gustafsson. Now up for the Aggies, number 26, Cole Williams. His next pitch is a ball. Ties up the count at one apiece. And that one's going to go right past the catcher for ball two. A swing and it's fouled off for strike two. And there's strike three. Caught him looking. Gustafsson with another big strikeout. That's his third strikeout on the day. Up next is number 42, Hayden Bogard. First strike right down the middle. And that one's actually going to hit the mound, bounce over to the shortstop, and he's out at first. Looks like Bogard may have had a hit right down the middle. Then it hit the pitcher's mound and bounced just enough towards Feeland. There's strike one against number 4, Victor De Jesus. That one's way outside. Ball 1. And that one's popped up high, and that one's going to be out of play. There's strike 2. There's a low dribbler to second baseman. Once again, out at first, and that'll end the inning. So just like that, once again, we are done with 2.5. We'll come back for the bottom of the third when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Shelby Reese now on deck for the Crimson Storm. First strike to him is a strike right down the middle. Gets a piece of that one and fouls it off to the right. And that one's going to hit him, and that'll send Shelby Reese to first base. And I think he's the first SNU Crimson Storm player to get on base in this game. Thus ends Godino's early bid at a perfect game, or a perfect 7-inning game, I should say. Trying to get the bunt down, and he will do just that. As a sacrifice bunt sends Shelby Reese to second, as Ryan Tucker takes the sacrifice bunt and puts up Garrett Perez on deck. First one finds the outside corner. Strike 1. That one's just a little bit low for ball 1. Risky check at second. Keeps Reese Honest at second. There's strike one, or strike two, excuse me, against Garrett Perez. That one's just outside, or excuse me, far two inside for ball two, tied up at 2 apiece. Gets a piece of it. It fouls it off behind him. The count stays the same. And that one gets a little bit of a hit. And it'll advance the runners. Puts Reese 90 feet away from the first run of the game. And takes out Perez and brings up Flowers to the plate. Back to the top of the order. First strike right down the middle for strike one. That one's just beyond the strike zone for ball one. A swing and a miss. Brings the count up to 1-2. Flowers will do anything just for one hit. That one's just beyond the strike zone. Ball two. 2 is across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss, and that's going to end the inning. So the Crimson Storm are unable to come away with a run there. And a golden opportunity. Or less, that'll end the third inning. And we go to the top of the fourth here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com as Gustafsson keeps on his good day by throwing another strike. Looking for strike number 2, just too low. He's going up against number 13 of the Cameron Aggies, Bronson Polgados. Gets a piece of it, fouls it behind him. So 2 balls, I believe should be 1 ball, 2 strikes, and now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's ball 3. Full count. Payoff pitch. Right down the middle. Caught him looking. Gustafsson with another strikeout. That's his 4th one today. I'll bring up Cody Bauer. First pitch right down the middle. Strike 1. Second one, also a strike. 0-2 count. And gets that one. It's a grounder to the second baseman. And he's taken out at first. Another ground out. Dalen Edgar able to field that. Give it over to Wiggins for out number 2. Brings up Cody Knight. First pitch on just outside that corner for ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. That one's actually going to hit the catcher, Stevens, in the mask. He's at 2 balls, 1 strike. What's that one? Just below the strike zone. Gets that one to go. And that one's going to go through. That's the first hit of the game by either team. And it's Cody Knight who finally puts an end to it. Stevens went through almost 4 innings without a hit. There's a little dribbler out. It's just going to get it at first base, and that'll end the inning. So even though Gustafsson's bid at a 7-inning game no-hitter is over, he gets through the inning with relative ease. And that brings us to the bottom of the 4th when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Tyler Stevens going to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Crimson Storm. First pitch delivered by Godina is just low, but the second one finds the strike zone, tie up the count. And that one's popped up high in the air towards left field, and it just drops, but if it drops into foul territory, strike two. So Stevens will walk back to home plate after trying to dig for second. Great effort out there by number 42, Hayden Bogard. He tried to make the big play. Unable to get there. And a swing and a miss. So Stevens will try to make it to first. He will not get there. And that's one out to start the inning. And here's a swing by Phelan, and it's easily tracked down in right field by Cody Bauer. So bring up number 14, Anthony Wiggins. First pitch is down for strike one. Second pitch is down for strike two. And this gets a bit of it, but can't quite find the in play. Fouls it off to the right. Fouls that one off to the left. So Wiggins in a dueling match with the pitcher Godina. And gets a piece of that one. It's going back towards the wall. And it's off the wall. That's a hit for Anthony Wiggins. And he'll find the second base. So Anthony Wiggins puts on SNU's first hit of the afternoon. And Dalen Edgar will step up to the plate. The man in scoring position. That one's just low before below the strike zone. Ball one. Runs over the strike zone for strike one. And that one's going to go to the shortstop and be corralled to the first base for out number 3. And SNU once again could taste home plate. Nevertheless, score remains 0 runs to 0 runs. But the Crimson Storm put on the first hit of the afternoon. When we come back to SNUathletics.com, it'll be the top of the 5th inning. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. And the inning starts with a ground out from Phelan to Wiggins. And that's how we will start the inning. A ground out from Phelan to Wiggins, as it was Acevedo who got a piece of the ball. There's strike one, followed by the first ball against Micah Kawakai. And there's ball two, just missing the inside high corner. And a great reach around play by Gustafsson. Ball's screeching right towards him. Got him on the turnaround. Brings up number 26, Cole Williams. A swing and a miss by Cole Williams is how he'll start his at-bat. And that will hit. Excuse me, it looks like it hit him and actually went behind him. It went behind Williams, who was expecting it to get hit. Gustafsson may have dodged a bullet. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one goes below the strike zone for 2 balls, 1 strike. And that one's a hit into center, and it's brought down by Mike DeCicelo. That'll end the inning once again. So we're done with 5.5. When we come back, we'll have the bottom of the fifth inning. We're done with 4.5. When we come back, we'll be back with the bottom of the fifth inning here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Leading off the bottom of the fifth inning is number 22, Mike DeShisolo. Excuse me. That one finds the inside corner for strike one. Godina and Gustafsson putting on pretty impressive pitching shows here in the second game of our doubleheader. Next pitch from Godina is a ball. Too far inside. DeShisolo gets a piece of that one and fouls it off to the right. Gets another one to foul off to the right as well. Count stays the same. 1-2. And a swing and a miss will send DeShisolo down. One out in the bottom of the fifth inning. We'll bring up number 4, Shelby Reese. Shelby Reese was just 90 feet away earlier in the game from putting a lone run on this game. Now, strike one is how he will open up his next at-bat. 4 strikeouts for Godina today. 1 hit on 52 pitches. Gets a piece of that one. It's fouled off towards the right. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. That one's too low. Puts up the first ball against Reese. That one's too low as well. Ties the count at 2 apiece. And that one's going off the line for foul. Battling off the pitches of Godina. Next pitch goes too low. It's a full count. Reese takes time. That's too low, and Reese will trot over to first base. So with Reese going to first base, it'll bring up Ryan Tucker, number 8, the catcher. So a little bit of a scare there as the ball goes past the pitcher. So Tucker regains. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Keeps him honest. Now the infield will come in to have a little chat. That one goes strike, puts it inside the strike zone. Ties up the count with ones across the board. Keeps him honest. Tried to trick him with the hit and ball trick. A swing and a miss. Brings up the count to a 1-2 scenario. Ryan Tucker trying to do everything in his power to help his teammate Reese, so standing over there at first base. That one's too low for ball 2. Gets a piece of it and just misses the bag. SNU wanted it to be called fair. Not going to get it from the umpire this time. Count stays the same at 2 balls, 2 strikes. A swing and a miss. Or excuse me, it looks like he got the piece of it with the end of his bat. Umpire calls it foul. Looks like he just got a piece of it to stay alive. Gets a piece of that one, and it's flying out. And it's just out of play of the third baseman. Gets a little piece of it. About to turn the double play, and they do. So double play is turned for Cameron, and that will end the 5th inning. And once again, we are left scoreless after 5. As we go into the 6th inning, You're watching SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. So we are ready to start the top of the 6th inning. It's number 42, Hayden Bogard for the Aggies, who will ground out to first. That's how the inning will start. Next pitch is a low ball. As we go back to Victor De Jesus. Back at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. That one once again too low for ball 2. That one finds the strike zone for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike against Victor De Jesus. A swing and a miss. Ties up the count at 2 apiece. And he gets a piece of that one off into center. And it's tracked down by Mike DeCicelo. So Bronson Polgados will come back to the plate. 2 outs against the Cameron Aggies. And gets a great stop at third base. Shelby Reese stopping the play, web gym type of stop over there on that third base line. That's how the top of the 6th will end. When we come back, it'll be the bottom of the 6th. The Crimson Storm still trying to find that all-elusive first run. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Leading off the bottom of the sixth inning is number 5, Garrett Perez at the bottom of the order, followed by Josh Flowers and Tyler Stevens. First pitch delivered by Godina is a ball too low. That one finds the inside of the strike zone for strike one. Ties up the count, 1 apiece. That's too low for ball 2. Looks like Garrett Perez wanted to reach out and try and get a bunt in. Pulled back just in time.
I got number 29's rolling up over there.
Thank you. That one's just inside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs against Garrett Perez. And that one's too low, and Garrett Perez will once again trot over to first base. So Josh Flowers will enter the scene. Just got an update for you. Over in the Cameron bullpen off to my right, we have number 29, Tyler Abrego, a senior right-handed pitcher, warming up, probably coming in to possibly close out this deal for the Aggies. And he's coming in right now, actually. So number 29, Tyler Abrego, will come in and get warmed up. We'll take a break while he gets warmed up here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Coming in for the Cameron Aggies, number 29, Tyler Abrego. Just gets it under the bunt attempt of Josh Flowers. 1 strike so far. And that one's way outside for ball 1. Abrego is a 6'3" senior out of Phoenix, Arizona, and Sandra Day O'Connor High School. Keeps Garrett Perez honest. That one's too low as well. Ball 2. Flowers actually tries to get in the bunt that time. Doesn't work out. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. No outs. Man on first. Too low that time. Strike 3. Low on the bunt attempt brings up Stevens. So Abrego starts out his afternoon with a strikeout. That one's finds the low side of the strike zone for strike 1. Almost gets Perez at first. Gets a piece of it and fouls it off his leg. So Stevens will come back once again. 2 strikes, no balls. 1 out. Now it's just a chess match between the batter, the runner, and the pitcher. That one's 2 outside. Ball 1. And gets a piece of it. It flies it out to center. And it's got to get tracked down, that time by the center fielder, Victor De Jesus. 2 outs in this one. Now Dylan Phelan will step up to the plate with a man on first. That one goes 2 inside, ball 1. And there's the runner. And he's going to be safe. And we're going to grant Garrett Perez with a steal. 1 ball, 1 strike against Dylan Phelan, and now he has a man in scoring position. It's a piece of it. And he's going to be safe. Dylan Phelan with an infield hit. And now brings up Anthony Wiggins with the first run of the game, potentially 90 feet away. So having a little chat at the pitcher's mound. The second baseman and the first baseman and the catcher, as well as the pitcher, trying to make sure that he's okay. And here comes the coach, and he'll bring in the whole infield. So the umpire goes down to check, make sure that his pitcher's okay. And Abrego will stay atop the pitcher's mound. 2 outs and in a jam. And this is going to be an intentional walk against Wiggins and try to load up the bases with 2 outs. So Anthony Wiggins is kind of smirking down there that they're not going to give him a chance to hit it. And I'll bring up Dalen Edgar with a chance to take the lead for the Crimson Storm. All he needs is to fight off that pitcher for a walk or get that lone hit, or get that one hit. So the bases are loaded. Dalen Edgar at the plate. 2 outs. That one goes high for ball 1. Oh, and very close to a balk. At least that's what some of my colleagues in the press box thought that it was. And that one's too low for ball 2. It's 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. And that one's outside too for ball 3. So one more ball, and there's your first run of the game. This is a senior pitcher, so once again keeping everybody honest. You're an SNU runner, you don't want to risk anything. Finally finds the strike zone for strike 1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded. And that one is a ball, and that's gonna put one on the board. Crimson Storm put on the first run of the ball game. And it's Garrett Perez who gets the honor of going across the plate first for the first run. As the walk puts Dalen Edgar at first. Anthony Wiggins at second, and Dylan Phelan at third, with Mike DeShisholo, the center fielder, up to bat. First pitch is high and inside, ball one. A swing and a miss. Brings up strike one. A swing and a miss again for DeShisholo. Brings up a 1-2 count. And there's a hit right in between the third baseman and the shortstop. It'll send to home. So a 2-run RBI by Mike DeShisholo sends Anthony Wiggins and Dylan Phelan across the plate. And I'm sure that the SNU Crimson Storm baseball team feels better about a 3-run lead as opposed to a 1-run lead. Mike DeShisholo puts a motor on one in between the third baseman and shortstop for 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now it's Shelby Reese, who's at the plate. Gets a piece of it, and he's going to foul it off his foot. And there's another piece of it. Shortstop is going to be able to get it to get it to first. And that's going to end the inning, but not before the Crimson Storm put on the first 3 runs of the ball game in the bottom of the 6th inning. And as we come to the top of the 7th, it's the last gasp for the Cameron Aggies in the second game of 2 in our doubleheader here at SNUathletics.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. The Cameron Aggies are now down to their final 3 outs in this 7-inning game 2 of our doubleheader. Up to bat is number 21, Cody Bauer. Going up against David Gustafson, who's only allowed 1 hit in this second game. Second pitch actually gets a piece of him, and he'll go to first. So Gustafson, 60 pitches, 1 hit, and 4 strikeouts. And there's one on, and now there's one on one on first. That one's away for ball 1. That one's away as well for ball 2. And there's a rocket into center field, and he's going to dig for third. And he will get there and actually hit the player, and he's coming home. So the Cameron Aggies, now they're putting on some offense as they finally get a run across all the way into their last inning. And now the tying run is at the plate. That's the first error of the game as well, as SNU puts that one on. And Robert Lee is coming out to talk to Gustafson, and that might actually, I'm not sure if that will be it for him. So that was Cody Knight, who was able to get the hit that led to an error. And he resides comfortably over there at second, no outs. And here's the tying run at the plate, number 16, Anthony Acevedo. And Gustafson's going to stay out there. That one goes inside. Ball 1. One finally gets across the strike zone. Strike 1. Gets a piece of it over to third. And he's able to get him at first. Fielder's choice. And there's the first out of the 7th inning, top of the 7th inning. So Knight is over there, 90 feet away from home plate. Tying run once again is still at the plate. Up to bats, Lino Ramirez this time, the third baseman. He's 0 for 2 so far today with a fly out and a ground out. And it seems that Cody Knight may be in some pain. So they're going to send out a pinch runner. That pinch runner is number 15, David Madigan. He's just look at my roster here. David Madigan is a 5'7" freshman out of Lawton, Oklahoma, and Eisenhower High School. Goes to take Knight's place at third base. And that one is popped up out of play into foul territory. So that's strike one. That one's outside for ball one. That one's just low. Ball two. And swing and a miss. Puts a strikeout on as well and ties up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ramirez himself is the tying run. And that one's low. And now it's a full count. Full count against Ramirez. Payoff pitch. Outside. And the tying run is on base. That rings up number 2, Micah Kawakai. And that is going to do it for Gustafsson. So Gustafsson is done for the afternoon. He goes 6 1/3 innings, and he only gives up two hits. So with that, we'll have a pitching change, and it's none other than number 14, Anthony Wiggins, who goes to the mound. When we come back, we'll let him warm up, and when we come back, he will be on the mound to try and get these last 2 outs for the Crimson Storm here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Anthony Wiggins on the mound now for the Crimson Storm. First pitch goes just away for a ball. That one finds the strike zone, strike one. And there's the runner. Strike two. They take away that force. You take away that force at first base, but they're going to call a balk and send number 15, Madigan, in for the run. So now the Crimson Storm's lead is only 1 run. The score being SNU 3, Cameron 2. And Robert Lee is definitely not happy getting into the face of that first base umpire. So Robert Lee makes his way back to his own dugout, definitely upset. And that is the second time that has happened in this ball game. Or not this ball game, but the 2 ball games that we've had today. That's strike 2. Gets a hit, and there it is. There's the hit. Will it be able to drive him home? It will. And the game is now tied at 3 apiece. SNU clearly frustrated, as at one time they came into this final inning looking to put them away and go home with a split. Instead, we'll have 3 runs here in the top of the 7th. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 1. The go-ahead run is now at first. Next pitch outside. Another ball. Once again, can't find the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. And there's the run. And it gets by the second baseman. And now the go-ahead run is only 90 feet away. So now SNU in some deep trouble. It's the second error today. And it is belted up. And that's going to be a sacrifice fly. And that'll drive in another run. So sacrifice fly out. Puts the go-ahead run on the board. And now Cameron has a 4-3 lead in the top of the 7th. Now we can't find the strike zone either. There's 2 outs. That one's high as well. That one finds the strike zone, however. 2-1 now. That one's just low as well for a 3-1 count. Crimson Storm just cannot seem to get out of this inning. That one finds the strike zone as well, and number 42, Hayden Bogard, was ready to trot on over to first. Now it's a full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and that will end the inning. And about time, if you ask SNU, as they allow 4 runs in that final, in that frame. And now SNU has 3 outs to answer when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. First pitch delivered as a strike as the Aggies have called upon their closer for the game 2, number 24, Javarius Banks, as that one is fouled behind us. And regardless of what the scoreboard says on your screen, the score is actually Cameron 4, SNU 3. There's a swing and a miss, and that will do it. That was That was Mr. Tucker, Ryan Tucker, who was struck out there. Javarius Banks is a right-handed 6-foot pitcher, senior out of DeSoto, Texas, DeSoto High School. First pitch, strike. That one finds the strike zone as well. Going up against Garrett Perez. That one's just low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss will send Garrett Perez down, so the SNU Crimson Storm are down to their final out. Josh Flowers will step on up. First pitch is a strike, finding that inside bottom corner. That one's just low for ball 1. That one's a little bit high. Ball 2. Gets a piece of that one and fouls it off. Ties up the count. 2 apiece. A little bit high. It's a full count now. 2 outs. Payoff pitch. Get on him looking, and that's going to end the game. The Cameron Aggies came down in the last frame of this 7-inning game, down 3 runs to nothing. Put on a rally of 4 runs off of 2 errors by the Crimson Storm, and pull away, sweeping the homestand against here in Bethany at Phelan Field. And that's not good. We got some altercation between the Cameron Aggies and the Crimson Storm, as a couple of obscene gestures are being thrown out there. So the umpire's trying to break that up immediately, and they do a great job of that. And obviously Coach Lee is unhappy as well. And that's going to do it for us in Bethany. So Cameron pulls out of the first game, winning by a score of 7-4. And they rally in the final inning of this one, winning 4-3. Once again, I'm John Hale, reminding you that this is just the start of SNU baseball, and we will be here all season. And remember to keep those bolts up.